Let's have a look at the earth energy. So this is more of a descending energy. So let's shut our eyes for a minute. It's getting a bit dangerous this time in the evening, but let's take a risk of shutting your eyes for a minute. And imagine yourself sitting on the earth. Maybe you've got your feet in the earth or your hands in the earth. If you're a gardener, you'll know that feeling. And just feel the earth between your hands. It's kind of earthy, dark, rich feeling. Makes us feel grounded. This is where actually all life, nearly all life comes from the earth. Out of the earth, this nourishes plants, and we eat the plants. Animals eat the plants. So actually, all land, plants and animals all come out of the earth. The earth is incredibly nourishing. It just looks kind of dark and damp, but actually that's where all nourishment for life comes from, for our bodies. And then feel that quality inside your body. We take in food which has come from the earth, and we take it inside ourselves, and it comes down in our bodies, and it makes our physical bodies. Gives us physicality, and it nourishes us. So we feel filled up, we feel satisfied, we feel nourished. Yeah, you get the feeling of the earth energy? So you can open your eyes. So the earth energy is about nourishment. And emotionally, this is about being able to nourish ourselves. It's about being able to receive, about being able to give ourselves nice food, nice experiences, good company, giving ourselves the things that we want in our life. If we have difficulties in the earth energy, we may be very poor at receiving. People try to give us something and we say, "Oh, no, don't give it to me. No, you have it." Or my mother, bless her, we used to live in a street when I was young with a friend up the street, and one of them would give the other one something, like some flowers or some plants or a bit of food or something. And then the other one's, go into panic. I've got to give something back that's bigger, that's more. And so, anxiety until they found something to give back, and then they give that back. And then the other one, now I've got to give something back that's even bigger. This would go on for like weeks, kind of going backwards and forwards, because they couldn't just receive and say, "Thank you so much, that's wonderful. I so appreciate that you want to give me that. Thank you so much for that food or that meal or whatever it is." So this earth energy is our ability to take in and nourish ourselves. And actually, when we're well nourished, we also feel like nourishing other people. We can be generous. We feel we want to nourish and help other people as well. But if we have that emotional habit of, no, I can't receive, then we create a lot of anxiety for ourselves. And this is very much to do with the solar plexus, the earth energy. And then people tend to develop a lot of tightness in the solar plexus. Because when we receive, we relax this area. Our stomach relaxes, and we go, "Oh yes, I can take in that." And then if we have an emotional block to taking in, our stomach gets tight, and we get really tight here, and then we maybe get bloating, and we eat food, and then it maybe comes back up again, because we find it difficult to receive. And often emotionally, underneath that difficulty receiving is not feeling good enough, not feeling valued. So why would we accept anything? Because we're not kind of worthy of accepting. So can't receive anything. You just got to hold it out. Or people go into compulsively helping other people. There's a kind of sense that some receiving's needed. So people go around giving to other people compulsively. They have to be giving, because somehow that kind of helps to feel other people are receiving, but actually it's the person wanting to receive themselves. If we get into our solar plexus and feel this area and practice receiving, it's going to bring up those negative emotions that we're holding about not being worthy to receive and not valuing ourselves or not being valued by other people in our lives and so on. So easier just to give to other people. Yeah. But underneath, there's a hole. There's like a needy hole. There's an unfulfilled hole inside, which I think we can nearly all probably relate to some extent. That's just kind of waiting to be filled. And if people have a big needy hole, you can often kind of feel it when you're close to them. But it feels like they're almost like they're wanting to suck energy in. And this is not a judgment. There's nothing wrong with this. It's just an observation. That some people who have a big hole, it feels like they want to suck you in almost, because they have such a big need. And then you know immediately that during their childhood and growing up, that their needs were very unfulfilled. That's why they have such big unfulfilled needs now, because as children they were very unfulfilled, and it's left a big hole. How do we fill that hole? Any suggestions how we fill that? Sugar's great. Chocolate's even better. Cake is great, sugary chocolate cake or something like that, because those things are sweet, and sweet things feel nourishing. In nature, out there, if you can find anything that's sweet, nuts or roots or berries or anything, they will be nourishing. But when you go into a supermarket and there's a whole counter full of Mars bars and Snickers and whatever they are and everything, chocolate bars, then it's very easy to go for that. And it feels nourishing for a short period of time. So, but it doesn't last very long, because it's not what we really want. What we really want is maybe some love from other people. We want to feel valued. We want some good company. We want some nice food. We want experiences that nourish us. But because we're out of touch with that, we don't know how to satisfy our needs. We maybe go for chocolate or sugar instead. And it tastes good, but it doesn't last very long. And then we need some more, and that doesn't last very long. And then we've got an addiction running. For other people, it's smoking. I smoked once. That feeling, I guess around that feeling. Feels like you're getting nourishment out of a cigarette, which is bizarre, isn't it? I still remember that thing, like sucking it down into here. It's bizarre. So we get into addiction. Some people it might be alcohol or other things, or trying to satisfy a need, or it might be a work addiction, because from work we get a certain satisfaction or recognition, but actually it's not what we really need, so we just get stuck in that work addiction. Yeah, anybody relate to this one? Yeah. Yeah, anybody relate to this one? So if you have that kind of addictiveness, then what you've got to do is look into, actually, what are your real needs? What are your unfulfilled needs? Maybe you're not even recognizing what your needs are. So, and it'll be particularly in this part of the body. So good to breathe into this part of the body and start feeling what's going on in here. Yeah. And if this area is really tense, then you've probably got something going on in your earth energy. So healing, you've got to get in touch with your needs and practice receiving. When people give you things, say, "Thank you so much. That's wonderful that you've given this to me. I appreciate that so much." It's like receive the gift into yourself. And actually, when you really receive a gift from someone, you're giving a lot back to the other person. Yeah? So we have to learn to give to ourselves and receive from others. Yeah? And it's not being selfish. I think a lot of screwed upness around the earth energy has come from some religions that say, you should just be giving and helping other people, and you shouldn't, it's selfish. It's selfish. Doing something for yourself, selfish. Or having something to eat you really like, selfish. And then we feel guilt. Anybody can get into that one? Yeah. And then that stops us just nourishing ourselves well. So I think a lot of people, and a lot of people have difficult relationship with food because of imbalance in this earth, and a difficult, unhealthy kind of relationship to receiving. So we've got to practice receiving and giving to ourselves. You can do things like sit down with a pen and paper. Think, what do I want? What would nourish me right now? And then just write down all the things that you find nourishing. Sitting in the sun, reading a book, reading a newspaper in a cafe, talking with friends, just whatever it is. And get in touch with what really nourishes you.